Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you have something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take. And I promise we'll play it back on our next episode. Share all of the quick takes for everybody you got there. We actually got a couple of them today, so we'll play it. We'll get through it. And I haven't listened to them, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, speaking of episodes, man, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. This code can be applied for first-time users only on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but if you haven't used SeatGeek, you need to go ahead, create that account, and then use the promo code, save yourself $20. Go to one of these basketball games, go to a concert, anything. You know, anything you can purchase a ticket from. So shout out to SeatGeek. Anyway, look, man. So look, the first things first. We just had a crazy round of the AFC Conference Championship, the NFC Conference Championship game. Both of them went down. One game was better than the other, and I think it's easily said, and it's not really a wild statement here to say that the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills game turned out to be the best game out of the two when you're talking about the AFC Championship versus the NFC Championship. Now, let's focus in on that Chiefs and Bills game because Chiefs ended up winning 32-29 to advance to their third straight Super Bowl. First, this is insane. I think I heard a stat or seen a stat. I can't remember which one it was. I think I might have seen it on Twitter. It was a stat that said out of the 8 teams that were on the verge of three-peating, only 2 of them actually went back to the Super Bowl. Don't quote me exactly on that statement, but there was multiple teams that had the opportunity to three-peat, and none of them did it. So this is the potential chance for the Chiefs, man. They got one game left to actually complete the three-peat. And I think it's inevitable at this point they would be crowned the greatest dynasty of all time. I mean, obviously, you already would have that argument with Patrick Mahomes of being the greatest quarterback of all time, which I think he is. I just think the game evolves and the skill set continues to evolve. And right now, Patrick Mahomes is showing us things that we've never seen from any other quarterback. He's able to break down defenses from similar to how we've seen Tom Brady do, but also the skill set and athletic ability is far beyond what we've ever seen Tom Brady do in a lifetime. Like it's crazy. So before I even talk about the game and everything that happened, I got to address some narratives first because there was a lot of people that told me, oh, the Bills is going to win this time. They said that the Bills is different, Josh Allen is different. And let's address some of these because let's have a little fun with it. Now, I can't believe y'all thought Patrick Mahomes is going to lose, first of all. I told you. We've seen Patrick Mahomes run through the AFC with no receiving options. He ran through the AFC with Kadarius Toney as his number 1 receiver, and he still ended up winning the Super Bowl. So now that he had Hollywood Brown back, he had DeAndre Hopkins back, like I just knew. And he had his running backs finally. Like, come on, man. I knew it was just going to somehow favor the Chiefs. That's the first thing. I just had a feeling, and we'll address all the other stuff and the nonsense in the game of calls and all. But another thing that we got to address, the narrative of, oh, Josh Allen is different this year. He going to be different. He beat him in the regular season. And let me tell you, bro, I tried to tell y'all right away, but, the Bills, this is what they do, man. Every time they've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season, the Chiefs went on to win a Super Bowl. And this is what's going on again and again. This is what we're witnessing happen right in front of our eyes. I put out a video. It was an episode, maybe like, I think it was right after all that Week 11 stuff when the Bills won and they beat the Chiefs. People got way too excited. People got way too hype about a regular season win when you know the only ones that matter for Pat Mahomes is the postseason. He turns into a different beast. The team cleans up. They become disciplined all of a sudden. They don't make mistakes all of a sudden. They no longer play to the level of their competition all of a sudden. Like, it's remarkable from what I see with the Kansas City Chiefs. And man, you know, all that talk of Josh Allen is different. Josh Allen is different. Yeah, you're right. He's different. He was 0-3 against the Chiefs in the postseason, and now he's 0-4 against the Chiefs in the postseason. So I think right now that just goes to show it's safe to say that Pat Mahomes is Josh Allen's kryptonite. I don't know what that man does and how he does it, but somehow the Chiefs always figure out a way to beat the Buffalo Bills when it matters most. And you know, Josh Allen has had a great season. I think he has played different than what we've seen him do in the previous years. He's limited his turnovers. He's taken care of the ball tremendously. I mean, he's been very accurate and just very particular and smart when picking apart the defense. So he's definitely been, you know, different. But man, when it comes to Pat Mahomes, it's clear that Pat Mahomes is still that man kryptonite. So don't get too hyped over them regular season wins. That's another thing right there that y'all needed to hear. Now, Josh Allen, in terms of his playoffs, like, if it wasn't Mahomes, he would probably be in the Super Bowl right now. I think he has a record of 7-6 in his playoff record, wins and losses. 4 of those losses came from the Kansas City Chiefs. One was his rookie season back in 2020, or his early season, whatever it was. He was very, very young back in 2020. And then the other was to Joe Burrow, who's also beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. So, I mean, anybody but Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like Josh Allen would have had the advantage this year. He would be going on to play the Eagles, but it just so happens that that was not the case. And it seems like he can beat everybody besides Patrick Mahomes. Now, the game, let's break the game down really quick. I want to spend too much time on this, but the thing I want to address here is the allegations of the Chiefs just cheating game after game. You knew the Chiefs was going to win because they were cheating. The refs, this is what they do. They cheat for the Chiefs. I just want to ask, man, and I want to know, like, I've seen, obviously, you know, watching the NFL, you're going to see the Chiefs get some bogus calls that go their way. We've all seen that happen through the course of the season. I can name like maybe 4 or 5 weeks where that clearly happened, where the Chiefs wasn't supposed to win a game, but a call went in their favor. Now, I will say, these game-deciding calls, these fake pass interferences that the Chiefs may get, or these holding calls that just work in the Chiefs' favor, or lay hits and stuff like that work in the Chiefs' favor. I get that. I understand, you know, if this is happening in crucial moments of the game, it's bogus. It's not supposed to go down like that. But don't talk to me and tell me that the Chiefs is getting all these love from the referees and they getting these lovely calls from the referees that's helping them win the games when it's a second down in the first quarter. I don't want to hear nothing about how the Chiefs is getting so much love from the refs when in the past few games, we ain't even really seen no game-deciding calls. See, a lot of people, I feel like with casuals, man, and maybe it is casuals, maybe it's heavy fans that watch the game, but when I'm looking at the games and I'm seeing a referee miss a call or have a call that could go both ways, that's debatable, go in the Chiefs' favor, that's nothing that's just like, oh, okay, they want the Chiefs to win. To me, that's just a bogus call. That's just, it could have went either way. So, I mean, it seems like it just fell in the Chiefs' decision. Now, I know that sometimes they always feel like, damn, why does every toss-up type of call fall in the Chiefs' favor? And that has happened. But in the past 2 games against the Texans and against the Bills, that has not been the case. A lot of people bring up that the 4th and inches that Josh Allen did a quarterback dive for. To me, that genuinely did look like he did not cross the play. He did not cross the first down marker with the ball. Now, I know, again, that could have went either way, but if the NFL don't want to invest in the technology, then I guess we'll never freaking know. Like, we'll just never know, because we see soccer leagues, they got the technology to tell if a man was offsides or if the ball got in the goal or not. We see it with tennis. They got things to say if the ball went out of bounds or not. But the NFL, they continue to stay behind in terms of investing in technology that's going to actually help them be able to perfect these calls that could go either way. So it's stuff like that, in situations like that, it is tough. It's tough to watch sometimes, but as long as it's nothing that's just blatant and obvious, I think I'm okay with the call going either way, especially when the other team has gotten away with some calls, which we've seen against the Texans and which we've seen against the Bills, where teams got away with calls. There was a couple holding calls. There was a couple offsides calls as well that were not called for the Buffalo Bills. But in terms of anything that was just blatant, like a call that was just clear cut, obviously wrong, That was not the case at all in any of the games that the Chiefs have played so far in the playoffs. So I know the whole cheating narrative is fun. Everybody's jumped behind it. Nobody wants to see the GOAT three-peat. But, bro, you got to call it for what it is, man. If the dude is good and can't nobody beat him, then accept that. He's good and can't nobody beat him. Embrace it, bro. We'll probably never see this again. I'm actually positive we probably won't ever see this again. A quarterback dominate, go to the Super Bowl 3 straight times and win? Like, bro, come on, man. Like, I cannot wait to watch this happen, and I'm trying to make sure I embrace every single moment of it because it's crazy. This is unheard of. Tom Brady did not do that. Peyton Manning did not do that. Eli, anybody, like you can name Joe Montana. No, none of these great Hall of Fame quarterbacks ever three-peated, and we're on the verge of watching somebody do that. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm all for it. Anyway, look, man, we got some voicemail callers as well. So let's jump into the voicemail callers, but we'll take a quick break and then we'll go ahead, play the voicemail and jump into some news. All right, man, so let's jump into it. Like I said, we got some voicemail callers here, but just to give you a heads up, man, if you want to go ahead and leave a quick take on the episode, just share your thoughts or anything, give us a call, 219-413-9405. And of course, you know, we'll play your take back on the next episode. So let's go ahead and do it, man. Here go the first voicemail call. Let's see what he got to say. Oh, let me go ahead and start you over.
This is Lonquavius.
Lonquavius was good.
The front lines are the most overrated team in the NFL.
Oh.
I mean, who did I have on the team besides Jared Goff?
Oh.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is a bum.
Come on, man.
Straight booty cheek. Jahmyr Gibbs, overrated as hell. You know who's the better team? The Tennessee Titans.
Oh, hell no. I know you just ain't say what I thought. Oh, wait a second. I know you ain't say what I think you said, bro. I got to play this last part back. I just want to make sure. And let me play it the whole. I'm going to just play the whole thing back just to make sure I heard every single thing you said. I want to make sure because this is a bold statement.
This is Lonquavius. I think the Detroit Lions are the most overrated team in the NFL. I mean, who did I have on the team besides Jared Goff?
Insane.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is a bum. Straight booty cheek. Jahmyr Gibbs, overrated as hell. You know who's the better team? The Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans, bro, you gotta be trolling right now. You gotta be trolling. I almost don't even want to cut up and give you the energy of why the Lions is. But what, did they put up 50 against them? Bro, yeah, bro, you gotta be trolling. You gotta be trolling, bro. Laquavius, I hope that was your name. I don't want to disrespect you in any way, but bro, you gotta be trolling. You 1,000% gotta be trolling, bro. First off, Lions won 15 games. Obviously, even if you think Jahmyr Gibbs is trash, I mean, stats say otherwise. Bro is a leading rusher in the NFL, so that says otherwise. Amon-Ra is a guy who can get his hands dirty. He can block, he can run, he can catch. He literally does everything on the field to perfection. So that's in itself is crazy. But you know, I know what you're doing, man. I know what you're doing. And I got a lot of respect for what you're doing because I like doing that same thing. Sometimes I love stirring up the pot a little bit and just like, you know, having a little fun with it and making somebody lose their cool. So I'm familiar with your game, bro. I'm familiar with your game. I know what you're doing because you have absolutely no right to call up here and say, The Lions are garbage. Amon-Ra is a bum. Jahmyr Gibbs overrated. Jared Goff is the only good player. When this team put up 52 against you, bruh, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the game. They was running touchdown passes and throwing touchdown passes to linemen, bruh. I think that, but I'm familiar with your game, bro. I respect it. And of course, bro, I appreciate you for calling. That's a wild take. That's a wild take, man. I wasn't expecting nothing like that today. Anyway, look, man, we got one more. Let's go ahead and see what he had to say on here. Let's do it.
It's Jordan. You feel me? I got like one take. You feel me? Like Mahomes for president. You feel me? Like, you feel me?
I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. Shout out to you, Jordan. I feel you, bro. Yeah, Mahomes for president, bro. Let's get this three-peat. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's get it done. And then, Yeah, bro, he pretty much owned the AFC. He owned the NFL right now. He's the president of NFL operations. He's the president of refereeing. He gets all the calls. That is a thing. He gets all the wins. He gets the teammates. I agree. Mahomes for president, bro. And he's a 3-time, 4 to 5 times. How many ever Super Bowl rings he got? He the first person to ever three-peat. So, hey, I feel it, bro. Mahomes for president. You ain't wrong, but no, appreciate you calling, Jordan, man. Let's go ahead and do this. Of course, shoot us a quick take. You want to comment on something they said? You want to comment on something I said? Or something you hear later on in the show, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. But, it's time to switch gears just a little bit. I can switch your gears anytime with you, Molly, or whatever he said. Y'all remember that statement from what was it? LeVar Ball? Remember he said that on Fox Sports when he was like, you can switch gears. That's what it was. You can switch gears with me anytime. And then they banned his ass from Fox Sports. Hey, yo, that was crazy. It's a little controversial, and I promise we're gonna get in the news, but that was just crazy, bro. Like LeVar Ball, I don't think he had ill intentions behind it, but this is just a random thought that kind of come to mind, bro. When he said, you can switch gears with me anytime you want to, Molly. Like, do y'all really think that was crazy? Was that worth banning him from? I don't know, but I guess if it makes the lead anchor uncomfortable, then I guess they have to follow protocol. They have to follow suit. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. But that was a crazy situation. If you know, you know. But it was wild. Y'all know how LeVar Ball used to just be wilding, bro. So it wasn't even, I don't think he meant anything by it. But there's been people who's been fired for less and banned for less. So anyway. All right, let's get into it, man. News for the run. Man, we got a lot of stuff to cover in the NFL. It's some good stuff happening, some coaching changes. The first things first here, I don't think I got a chance to share it with you all, but the Las Vegas Raiders have a new head coach in town. So on Friday, they officially announced that Pete Carroll is their new head coach for the Raiders. Now, Pete Carroll, he coached the Seahawks to their first Super Bowl win back in 2013, and now he's hoping to do the same with the Raiders and get them another Super Bowl and get them a Super Bowl under their belt. But anyway, man, that division is also stacked right now with the Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers, and the Broncos, because you got Jim Harbaugh and Andy Reid. You can now Pete Carroll, and then Sean Payton as well. Like, whoo, that division is stacked with some great coaching. So it'll be cool to see what happens in that division. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, they hired a new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. Cowboys hired their new coach, Brian Schottenheimer, and he's best known for his role as the offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys. But the thing with the Cowboys, man, it gets kind of worse because a lot of people thought there was better candidates. You could have possibly got Robert Saleh, who was still out there, or just maybe another coach who was more proven than Schottenheimer. But the thing is, with the Cowboys, here's where they messed up. Not just the head coach of hiring someone who we really don't have faith in, but they also are planning on hiring Matt Eberflus as the defensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you don't know, Matt Eberflus was the head coach of the Bears, couldn't even get the Bears 6th win this past season, regardless or despite the talent that they had on the Chicago Bears roster. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore. You had so much talent over there in Chicago, and the man couldn't even get them 6 games. He didn't know how to call timeouts, so he's taking that timeout over to Dallas with the Dallas Cowboys now, and hopefully he knows how to use it, and he can learn how to use it with the Cowboys. But that's the latest of that rumor is Eberflus is going to be joining the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that's another terrible move, but hey, Cowboys going to do Cowboys type of things. Anyway, the Chicago Bears, they're still putting pieces together on their staff. So former Saints head coach Dennis Allen, he's going to be joining Chicago Bears staff as a defensive coordinator. Now, I think this is a solid move for them, but I mean, obviously they still got a long way to go. And I got some mixed feelings about the Bears because the Chicago Bears going to keep doing Chicago Bears things. I know they got the new head coach, obviously a new defensive coordinator, trying to bring in an offensive coordinator as well. But if they don't have a solid O-line, I don't think the amount of creativity that's inside of Ben Johnson's head is even going to help the Chicago Bears when trying to scheme up something with the talent that they have over there. So I don't know. We'll see with the Chicago Bears, but that's the latest with them. Anyway, the San Francisco 49ers, they're bringing back a key piece to help with their defense. So Robert Saleh will be joining the 49ers staff as a defensive coordinator. And then the Detroit Lions, they were hoping to get Robert Saleh, at least the fans were, but they ended up filling some spaces on their coaching staff. So former linebacker coach for the Detroit Lions, Kelvin Shepard, he will now take on the role as defensive coordinator next season. And as far as the latest of reports for their offensive coordinator, they're still trying to decide, but the latest of the rumors is saying that Johnny Morton from the Denver Broncos pass game coordinator, he's potentially going to be the one who takes on the role as the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. But I mean, hey, he's been around for a second too. And I mean, he helped the Broncos, helped the young quarterback over there get his game together. So maybe, I mean, the Lions, they still got a lot of talent. I feel like either way it goes, no matter who they hire at the offensive coordinator, and yeah, I know they just brought in Shepard as the defensive coordinator, but when healthy, that team is still stacked with plenty of talent. I feel like it would be very difficult to go into one of those spaces as the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator for the Lions and mess up what they've already built over there just because they have so much talent on that roster. So I don't know. We'll see. But best of luck with them on their search. Anyway, so the Jaguars, oh my gosh, the Jaguars are a mess. I felt so bad last episode. You guys don't know, but I felt so bad last episode because I didn't get to give you another update right after I updated you. With the Jaguars, the last thing I told y'all was that they fired their GM, Trent Baalke, and then they were rumored to hire Robert Saleh. So in the midst, I promise you, as soon as I got off air, I published the episode. I go on Twitter, maybe like 5 minutes after I refresh, I get the report, and I see the report that Robert Saleh is no longer the favorite, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator, who said he was going to re-sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is back interested in the Giants head coaching position. So even though it was already reported that Liam Cole with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was going to go back, apparently he never signed anything on a dotted line. He never signed any contract. He never put anything in writing outside of a verbal statement saying he wants to return to Tampa Bay and that he will return to Tampa Bay. So when he got the call from the Jacksonville Jaguars, he upped and left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the head coaching position with the Jaguars. And this put an end all to the Robert Saleh stuff. This put an end to all of the other stuff with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers keeping their offensive coordinator. And Liam Cole went over to become the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I know it's a lot of information, but long story short, it was very messy. And Liam Cole now is the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So crazy how that all worked out. Anyway, so Jimmy Butler's in the mix. That boy Jimmy Butler has been wilding right now, man. And just to kind of give you a full update on what he's been doing lately. So initially, a couple of months ago, Jimmy Butler, he requested a trade from the Miami Heat. This was public announcement. He said it in a press conference. He said it in an interview after the game. He made it very, very evident that he wants to leave the Miami Heat and that he no longer wants to play for the organization. So this was months ago. And then it's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse as everything continues to progress with Jimmy Butler. So last week, he was suspended for 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team. So to give you exactly what he was doing, he missed multiple shoot-arounds, practices. He was taking private flights instead of flying with the team. And the team ended up suspending him. Miami Heat in the front office, they said, Jimmy, you're going to be suspended for 7 games. And that's what happened. So the 7 games, I don't even think the 7 games finished before Jimmy Butler ran into the next problem. But the next problem here, which is most recently, this report came out today, that Jimmy Butler was suspended indefinitely for walking out a shoot-around after he learned he was no longer going to be a starter on the team. So it's crazy. He wants to be traded. The Miami Heat are not really trading him because they don't want to accept any BS to just give Jimmy Butler away for scraps because they know he's a great player. And then you got Jimmy Butler acting out right now. And, you know, my thing about it is, look, I don't know the full details of the situation. I don't think anybody knows every single thing that's going on in the background with this whole Jimmy Butler situation. But thing is, bro, I don't know how else he can go ahead and make sure we understand his point. Like, you said you wanted to trade. We know you want to trade. You're missing shoot-arounds. You're missing practices. You've gotten suspended multiple times. You say it every chance you get that you want to go play for another team and you want to enjoy basketball again. You're saying all of these things publicly to make Miami Heat look like the villain. Do I know if they're the villain? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that if I'm any other team right now, Jimmy Butler looks undesirable as hell. I would not want Jimmy Butler near my team right now with the way that he's been acting lately. Now, I know he wants the money. He wants to get paid on a new contract. And obviously, as we've said, he wants to get traded. We know these things. But, bro, this isn't the way to do it. This is not the way for Jimmy Butler to do it, bro, because I don't care what team I am. I'm definitely not giving up assets so you can come over to my organization and mess up my team chemistry. Hell no. Like, I've seen people ask and they speculate that he may go to the Pistons in a 14 deal or something. Why the hell would Detroit want Jimmy Butler? Please tell me why. Because Jimmy Butler is not going to do nothing but go over there and mess up the flow between Cade Cunningham and Tim Hardaway Jr. and all the young guys that's been flowing right now and everybody that's finally established the rhythm over there in Detroit. Jimmy Butler ain't going to do nothing but go over there and mess up the chemistry, especially from the way that he's been acting and what we've seen him do in the past 3-4 months. Like, I don't want that. Now, is there a team out there that could possibly, make do and give away some core pieces to bring Jimmy Butler in and possibly have some sort of success? No, I think there's maybe one or two teams that could have success if they actually trade for Jimmy Butler. And that one team that I think could have success is probably the Milwaukee Bucks. But I don't even know if the Milwaukee Bucks would actually have success just because they already struggled finally getting Dame and Giannis to gel together on the floor. But then you add Jimmy Butler to the mix. Like, that's a lot of egos in the room. And then this is the guy who would probably come in a situation just trying to establish some sort of easy assimilation to the team. But it's just like, bro, it's like pulling teeth right now. It's like pulling teeth right now. Bucks also have enough assets to get rid of players and bring in Jimmy Butler. Pistons ain't got that. Knicks ain't really got that. Knicks would be a good choice, but either way, I don't think they end up winning a championship. The only way Jimmy Butler goes anywhere and sees immediate success is if it's with the Bucks, just because they already got so many pieces there. So they can't even give away as much, but Miami Heat right now, from their situation, they don't really lose anything keeping Jimmy Butler. They don't really win a championship with him. They don't win a championship without him. So either way it goes, it's like, why would I give away Jimmy Butler for scraps? I need players that's going to help me move to the next level in the playoffs. And right now, if teams aren't offering that, I don't blame the Miami Heat for not trading Jimmy Butler. He's going to stay there until I get an offer. And if you want to be unhappy, you want to be sad, you want to pout to the media, so be it. Go ahead. But as far as now, man, it's an ugly situation. There's got to be a better way to handle it. There's got to be a better way to handle it. But, man, it sucks. I hate that Jimmy Butler is going this route. Maybe it's the only choice. It seems like he's just taking it light. He's taking it as whatever, but I mean, hey, who knows? Anyway, look, man, that's all I got for y'all today. So I appreciate you for kicking it. Send this to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, and uncle, niece, and nephew. I'm going to leave you with a positive note, too. And the positive note here is just going to be embrace the journey and embrace the things that you've done. Sometimes you got to sit down for a second and just look at how far you've come. I know it's hard sometimes when we're all on the run and we're all, working hard, moving every day and working hard to get to what we're trying to accomplish, and we're very passionate about it. Like, I get it. But sometimes it's good to sit for a second and just remember how far you've come on the journey that you've taken and that you've decided to partake in. Because, yeah, sometimes it's easy to forget that. It's easy to forget that. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Other than that, man, of course, appreciate y'all for go ahead tuning in and send this to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, coworker, anybody you know, man. I promise you they're not gonna mind. Other than that, follow us on Twitter and stuff. Follow us on X, I guess what you could call it now. Instagram, damn, TikTok. Shit, man. Long story, man. Long story. I had to tell you about my TikTok later. I'm sick. I forgot about that. But that is at The Run Podcast on all platforms. The TikTok account is still up, but Y'all just ain't gonna see no videos on there. Damn. It's sad. Follow the YouTube too, at The Run Podcast. Also, hey, I almost forgot. The Voice of College Football Alabama channel, man. Look, so go on YouTube, type in the Voice of College Football Alabama. You can find me on there. Y'all know Alabama's my favorite football team, college football team. So be talking about Alabama more, and it's on that channel, the Voice of College Football Alabama. So go ahead, search that up, check it out, subscribe to it, and then you should be seeing a video up this week of me chopping it up about Alabama. So if you're an Alabama fan, man, and you listen to this, you definitely got to go to that channel because it's all Alabama. It's nothing else but Alabama on there. So I'm excited about that. Can't wait to jump into that. And honestly, I'm probably about to record for that now that I'm finishing this episode. Anyway, look, I'm out of here, man. I'll see y'all later on next week. I've been talking for way too long, so I'll see y'all later on this week. And so on and so on and so on.